Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love MMA as much as I do. Okay, now this is my Alex Periera Jake Paul video. Jake Paul is very smart with what he's doing, calling out Alex Periera. For one, it's very possible to happen. The last time Dana White let anybody who was UFC champion cross over to boxing and actually fight and keep the belts, it was Conor McGregor. Now, I know Alex Periera is not quite the drawing power of Conor McGregor. Nobody is. Maybe Jorge Masvidal while he was fighting Nate Diaz 5 years ago or whatever. But Alex Periera is pretty close. Alex Periera is definitely very close to that because of how he's been fighting, who he's been beating. He's been knocking people out either after getting kicked in the groin, still coming back to win. He's a scary dude. And he has a lot of kickboxing and some boxing experience. I think he has a boxing record, doesn't he? Or maybe it's out of sight. I don't know. But this would be perfect for Jake Paul because he's fighting literally the baddest. He's perceived right now as the baddest man on the planet because of what he's been doing and how he's been doing it. And again, Alex Periera is not a guy past his prime. He's literally in his peak right now. And Periera has said he's wanted to box. And at this point, I'd say Dana White should let him do it. I don't know if he actually will, but I think he definitely should because Alex Periera definitely could knock out anybody. Now, obviously, this is an advantage for Jake Paul because this is boxing. This is his world. Kind of reverting back to why I picked him to beat Mike Perry. Not like how he actually did it. I didn't think he'd do it that way. But I thought he'd win because, again, the boxing experience and everything was going to go into Jake Paul's favor. So I felt like it was his world. Boxing has become kind of his world now. And again, Now, Alex Periera, ranking-wise, because he doesn't box, he's not an elite boxer, but he's an elite striker who does have some heavy hands. And again, unlike Tyron Woodley, unlike Ben Askren, unlike Anderson Silva, or anybody else he's boxed who has been successful in the MMA world, who has been world champion at one point, or even Nate Diaz, who's a big star in MMA and is a big draw, Alex Periera is at the top of his game. He is a world champion right now. He's been destroying people. And for Jake Paul to fight him, this would be an advantage for Jake Paul. Because, again, when you're boxing, part of why I picked Nate Diaz to beat Jorge Masvidal is it takes away the kicks and the knees that Masvidal is so well known for. And there's no grappling. So Alex Periera would be, in turn, more inclined to fight Jake Paul and box him. And he says, you know what, man? I got heavy hands. I don't need my legs and my knees to beat a guy like Jake Paul or anybody, which he doesn't. But that also helps Jake Paul because he doesn't have to worry about getting kicked in the head or getting kicked in the legs or any of that. It's just simply these hands. So I think this fight should happen. I think it definitely needs to happen. And this would be the perfect chance for Jake Paul. Because again, if Jake Paul were to lose this fight to Alex Periera, and I'm not going to make a prediction because that fight's not even official. It's just simply an idea right now. But if Jake Paul were to lose, he has nothing to lose fighting Alex Periera. There is no loss for him. He gets a hefty payday. He's proved he's willing to go in there with the best of the world right now, which is Alex Periera. And if he beats him, anybody is willing to fight Jake Paul after that. And Jake Paul will make his claim and then go after an elite boxer. Now, again, this helps Jake Paul if he fights Alex Periera. This is his world. So it definitely needs to happen.